What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news about Lennox Lewis. Double L has dropped a interesting article. Okay, and his article was about the heavyweight division, and he mentioned Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Okay. He mentioned these fighters, and he basically called them the big three, right? And he compared them to himself because he was an example of the big three. The big three are the heavyweights today. They're much taller, bigger. I don't know about necessarily stronger, but they are taller and bigger in stature, than the fighters of old. And he went back and he talked the history lesson on how a heavyweight was, between 6 foot, 6'2", and how they are now, which was, a lot taller, 6'4", 6'5", and up, right? So the big three represent that: Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury. He also stated that Joshua is the top right now. He's the top fighter. And he is the guy that basically took the most risk at a short amount of time. Him and Eddie Hearns did a good move by doing so. Let's see. And Joshua, he, emphasized more on Joshua, of course. He emphasized that Joshua was in a position because these belts that were stripped from Tyson Fury after his episodes with mental health. Okay. Tyson Fury is still the man. He's the man that beat the man, and that holds some type of legitimacy, right? So he also showed that Joshua, proved that he was hungry and, and he was getting out ahead of the pack and making history. He said, but like I said, once you become a champion, there is no more learning on the job with lower opponents. He's going to have to start fighting the upper level competition. Great. Let me counterpunch that. Okay. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Once you become a champion, there's no reason for you to fight lower opposition. So what the hell was Deontay Wilder doing the whole time? And this is what I don't get about Lewis. You have that to say about Joshua and his competition, like he was fighting less competition or something, lower competition, where you got the other champion that ain't did shit at all. He's drawled with the guy that you call the man that beat the man, okay? And then he beat Luis Ortiz. But that's all he's done ever. And there's no reason to mention that whatsoever. Okay, let's keep going. He said, I think Joshua's done a great job so far, with every opponent he's placed in front of. He's gained a lot of valuable experience. He's beaten a lot of good heavyweights, including Vladimir Klitschko, who looked a lot better against Joshua than he did Fury. Okay. Now, he says, I expected him to fight Wilder in 2018. To my disappointment, those negotiations fell through. I've placed a lot of on the A side for that. And, and he blames Hearn and Joshua for the fight not happening. He said, and then he heard Joshua saying that he's in no rush to fight Wilder. Well, regardless if he wasn't in any rush to fight Wilder or not, that fight was still in negotiations. The offers were still getting transferred over, processed, right? They were still being sent, okay? So it didn't really matter what Joshua said. Those negotiations were still being sent over, right? Now, he says, I've always said that Joshua was the A side in a fight with Wilder. And as such, he should be able to name the date and place of the fight. That being said, Joshua versus Wilder is the biggest fight that can be made in the division today, and easily becomes one of the biggest in all of boxing. Okay. Let's see. He thought that it was ludicrous offering Wilder a paycheck. Okay, well, of course you would think that. He said instead of a percentage, especially when you consider that they did a 65-35 split with Joseph Parker for a unification bout. Okay, now, mind you, he left one big thing out. He used Parker as an example of that negotiations. First of all, they did offer Parker a flat fee at first. They did. And they turned it down. They wanted a percentage split. But the only difference between Parker and Wilder, Parker's team was actually interested in wanting to fight. And they showed you they were interested because they were calling him back. They were giving him what they wanted. They were in talks, okay? They were able to sit down and tell them, okay, this is what we want in order for this fight to happen. You think Deontay Wilder's camp did that? Why isn't he saying that shit? Now, but he didn't mention that Charles Martin took $8 million flat to fight Joshua to get knocked out in 2 rounds. Okay? He don't want to bring, no one brings that shit up at all. No, never that. We can't bring that up. He ain't going to bring that. That's not what he was talking about. Okay, so anyway. All right. Okay. Damn, this is long. This is a lot. I'm not going to sit here and read all this. This is crazy, though. This motherfucker like he's writing a book. You know? Like, damn. He says, now, I'm not privy to all of the details and all of the back and forth between Joshua and Wilder camps, but based on what I've heard, my opinion was that Joshua and Hearn needed to step up their game if this fight was going to happen. See, here's the problem with that. You just said the biggest contradicting thing that you could ever say in this damn thing. Do your research. If you don't know everything that was involved in the negotiations, why are you going to sit here and say that it's one side and one side only? You just chose to pick the side that you just chose to pick because of whatever reason. Right? What the hell? You need to look at the details. How are you looking at it like this? What the hell are you doing? This guy, he just said, I'm not privy. I know what that word means. That means he's not aware. Privy means aware. You know? So he's not aware of everything that went on, including negotiations. So why are you saying, well, I think they need to get a 60-40 split? That's like someone slapping you in the fucking face from asking you something. That requires that. I can see why people get slapped. I think, well, you should actually done that, especially something you've already done. You know? But I'm glad he mentioned Parker. But back to Parker. Parker's team, they wanted to fight. They wanted a unification. Okay? They wanted to fight the unified champ. And they sat down like real people that really wanted to fight. And they made the fight happen. You know what I mean? That's what a side do. That's what they do. They negotiate. You know what I mean? Just because someone offers you an offer and you don't take it, don't mean they don't want to fight, especially when they're constantly sending offers. See, people, I don't know what the hell you got these blue blood motherfuckers and true barbershop or the boxing ego. You got all these people that talk about all this. Well, they didn't want the fight because they lowballed the offer. But you guys never mentioned that. Okay, they never wanted to accept any other offers from them after they didn't like the first two. Then they agreed to the second one. And you know what their rebuttal would be? Oh, well, maybe if they didn't try to screw them around like they did, maybe they don't want to fucking fight. How about that? Maybe your boy don't want to fight. He ain't talked about fighting. We eventually will fight on down the line. Okay. On down the line, eventually, you know, with my adversity, I think, you know, with different adversity I'll go through. What? What'd you say? Okay. Adversity. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's different adversity, you know. Like he's playing football. At varsity football. Anyway. But Lennox Lewis, he said all this. Let me scroll through the rest of this shit. Let me, only takes about 30 strokes, right? This shit's long. Okay. All right. And he said, I manage my character and everything surrounding Lennox Lewis. Yep, third person. There's no puppet master here. I just like to call it like I see it, like I've always have. I have no problem speaking my mind. In my career, I created my own path, chose my own destiny, and fought for everything that I've earned. Okay, I believe that. I believe Lennox Lewis has done exactly what he said. I believe you. I believe you took a chance. I believe you took destiny in your own hands by fighting, by taking and accepting the $10 million. But the problem, brother, is how can you do something that you don't recommend someone else to do? But then tell someone else that you have nothing in common with. Like Anthony Joshua, to bow down to someone that accepts crumbs as forms of fight purses. Because and you're bitching about a split. Okay, well, you got a 60-40 split that you don't know because you're not very privy on the offers. Well, let me tell you about an offer there, a genius. The offer was 60-40. Right? That's the new offer. He didn't give a shit. That's the one that no one else, you don't hear anything from Shelly Finkel or his secretary or anyone. Oh, you hear from Deontay Wilder, oh, he don't want to fight. Oh, he don't want to fight. No, he don't want to. You know what I mean? That's someone acting to me like they don't want to fight. They're just, they're playing that role like, no, you don't want this. No, you don't want this. But it's like, no, you don't want this fight. See, Deontay Wilder thinks that he's bigger than what he is. That's why I don't like him. I think he knows what he's worth. That's why he got about $5 million. You know what I mean? I think Dillian White's fight purse against Chisora, too, was bigger than his, plus the pay-per-view, because we don't know those numbers. They say they're like 310,000 or something like that. I doubt that. He had to make 250,000, right? He had to make that to guarantee their fight purses, right? Which that was a full $7 million. He got 4. Tyson Fury got 3, right? And experts say the shit's like 278, so he didn't really get too much because he still has to break that up with other people. He ain't getting all that. He got all them damn people. Mark Breland, Luda Bella, Shelly Finkel, Al Heyman. That's 4 people right there. It's more than that. The other trainer. You got a lot of people, right? You have a lot of people that he has to break bread with. So, no, he ain't made that much money. So, if you compare his split, and he got a 60-40 split, he got 60% of that. But what's 60% of something small versus a flat fee of something big? Answer me that question. See, Lennox Lewis... My thing is about Lennox Lewis, if I'm looking at this whole article, all I've heard was Tyson was the baddest man on the planet, the man to beat the man. Joshua, came out head of the pack, right? He made an aggressive move. It was a smart move, okay. He was disappointed in Joshua. He expects more out of Joshua. He blames it on Joshua, right? What have you heard about Deontay Wilder reading all this shit? This whole freaking book article. This is like a 4-page article, right? What have you heard about Deontay Wilder and his career of critiquing it whatsoever? This was supposed to be about the heavyweights of 2019, not Anthony Joshua of 2018 and 19. This looks like a damn Anthony Joshua summary. What is this dude's problem with Joshua? What's the deal? He keeps talking about Joshua. This is supposed to have been about all these heavyweights. He didn't talk about Ortiz. He didn't talk about Jennings. And I know he was fucked up when he said Jennings is still there because Jennings just got knocked out. He just made this article like yesterday. This just came out. Depends on what part of the world you're in, right? So, what the hell, man? I don't get it. And at any time, like he said, he put his career in his own hands, right? He grabbed his own career by the balls, took that $10 million and fought Evander Holyfield. right? He got a draw the first time. He got robbed. I agree with that. I know that happened. And I wasn't even a fan of his, but I know he got robbed, though, right? But he did get what his just awards and rewards were, right? He was awarded those wins. He finally beat Holyfield, right? And he took that $10 million. So why couldn't he critique his boy, the one he taught how to throw a damn jab out in front of a parking lot or something, to take the money that was offered to him so he can achieve what he says he wants? Now he says he doesn't want that no more. Why isn't that even talked about by Lennox Lewis or anything concerning any other fighter talked about except Joshua? I expect more out of Joshua. Well, damn, what do you expect out of Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder there, chum? Nothing? Just to sit back, fight each other 3 or 4 fucking times? Because that's all we're going to get. A big duck show. That's all you're going to see. So, you know, anyway, that's my synopsis on it. That's me counterpunching it. You guys tell me what you think. I'll leave the link below in the description. I'll leave that damn book below so you guys watch it. And after you finish it next week, give me a holler and tell me what you think about it. But anyway, this is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.